Welcome everyone to the course of New Product and Service Management. Today, I would like to discuss a topic on crafting the service environment. So, crafting the service environment consists of what is the purpose of service environment and then how to understand consumer responses to service environment. It is the dimensions of the service environment and how to put it all together. So, service environment, or we call it servicescape or physical environment, it is to help company in creating a distinctive image and unique positioning. And the service environment will affect buyer behavior in three ways. So, number one is it is a message creating medium. It is a symbolic use to communicate the distinctive nature and the quality of the service experience. And then number two is attention creating medium. It is to make Servicescape stand out from competition and attract customer from target segment. And you see the word Servicescape. It is called a physical environment of the service. Okay. And then the third one is effect creating medium. It is a matter of using colors, texture, sound, sense, or others, and special design to enhance desired service experience. Please take a look here how we compare hotel lobbies. So why hotel lobbies? Hotel lobbies is very important when people want to stay in a hotel. The entrance point is the lobby. So the lobby at the left, it is very simple lobby, colorful, and it is very narrow, and table, sofa, and also the carpet. It just to show you the function of this lobby. It is a place to wait. And then what happened to the right? It is taken from Four Seasons Hotel in New York. This is a five-star hotel. It is very sophisticated lobby, and of course, it's different between left and right. Okay, so each servicescape clearly communicates and reinforces its hotel respective positioning and then to set service expectations as guests arrive. Okay, I'll continue. So servicescape or physical environment of a service is a part of value propositions. The physical space or physical surroundings, or we call it servicescape, help shaping appropriate feelings and reaction in customer and employees. So the keyword is feelings. Yeah, the physical thing that influence customer feelings. For example, Disneyland, Denmark, Legoland. Yeah, can you imagine how Disneyland and Legoland looks like? And then the second one is Servicescape form a core part of the value propositions. So, for example, Las Vegas, Club Med, Florida-based movie co, and etc. or casino. So in Las Vegas, it is repositions itself to a somewhat more wholesome, fun resort, visually striking entertainment center. And how about in Florida-based Mufico? It is to build extravagant movie theaters and overs plus amenities What sets you apart is how you package it. This is the statement from the CEO of Movico. So the power of Servicescape is being discovered. Please take a look here. This is a Disneyland. So in Disneyland, it's selling imaginations that can see that animal can talk, can work, can interact. But most importantly, it is taken from fantasy. It is fantasy people that the house look very outstanding there. It is not the ordinary house. It is not the ordinary castle, or it is something beyond imaginations. So, an integrative framework, it is taken from Bitner's Servicescape model. It is to identify the main dimension in service environment and use them holistically. Internal customer and employee responses can be categorized into cognitive, emotional, psychological responses, which lead to overt behavioral responses towards the environment. So the Servicescape actually will influence the cognitive. It is more on rational, emotional, and psychological responses. So all of them, it's talking about the process of thinking and the process of feeling. And it is a key to effective design, which is to how well each individual dimension fits together with everything else. So in Servicescape model, actually there are three main points. The first one is ambient conditions, the characteristics of environment pertaining to our five senses. So all physical environment, physical surrounding are built, are structure that showing effect on five senses, our five senses. And it is spatial layout and functionality. Spatial layout include floor plan, size and shape of furnishing, counters, machinery, equipment, and how they are arranged. And how about the functionality? It is the ability of those items to facilitate performance. And how about the sign, symbol, and artifact? This is how to implicit and explicitly signal to what? How to communicate firms' image, how to help consumer find their way, and how to convey rules of behavior. So back to the example of five-star hotel, you can see that the ambient and conditions. Let's say that we talk about JW Marriott Hotel, how the ambient condition look like. Yeah, and how about the floor plan, and how about the furnishings, and how to communicate hotel's image. It is, of course, this is five-star hotel, this is the best hotel. And yeah, everything is done when they offer a service. One keyword is how to provide amazing servicescape, amazing physical surrounding that people will remember and people will be interested. Okay, the impact of signs, symbols, and artifacts of physical surrounding is to guide customer clearly through process of service delivery. So customers will automatically try to draw meaning from the sign, symbol, and artifacts. And unclear signals from a servicescape can result in anxiety and uncertainty about how to proceed and obtain the desired service. So number two is talking about this one is talking about, let's imagine if you were working uh, or not working. Actually, when you are visiting a certain restaurant, and that restaurant is built according to a very mysterious style of housing, okay, and very haunted, and it's very dark, and yeah. And on the other hand, another restaurant is designed with the concept of colorful, and the concept of blooming, and the concept of spring. Yeah, it means that the first will create anxiety and uncertainty, and then the second design will create more joyful and more comfortable, for example. Yeah. So we are not talking about the service. I mean the quality of foods, for example, if we talk about restaurant. But from the Servicescape, we have assessment. Okay, we have perceptions that it is full of anxiety or it is full of comfort, for example. And for instance, science can be used to reinforce behavioral rule as well. Okay, so this is an example how the science can teach and reinforce the behavioral rule in service setting. So this is no smoking with a fine $500, and then this is a no eating and drinking with a fine $500. Yeah. Of course, in a matter of sign, the colors, red, and then this is the symbol, the image of smoke, and this is the foods, and there is a cross and a line. I mean, there's a line here that's showing you how to teach and reinforce uh, people not doing this violence, right? And people are a part of service environment, and how to select environmental design element. Consumers perceive service environment holistically. Okay, holistically, it means that integratively. So all part of service. Okay, not only the quality of food if we talk about restaurant, but also uh, the shape of the buildings and the design of the buildings, and also the concept of building as well, right? The colors, and etc. Design with holistic view, Servicescape have to be seen holistically. No dimension of design can be optimized in isolations because everything depends on everything else. So it means that if we want to um, design, for example, we talk about restaurant, we are not only focusing on the best quality or the best taste of the food, but also how uh, the restaurant look like in terms of the lightings, colors, and also the smells, the odors, the scents. Is very important. So it is called holistic. And holistic characteristic of environment makes designing service environment an art. Okay, and this is an example of if you look at the book, there is a match and mismatch of sense. This is sense as a smell and music in Singapore. So sense and music, smell and music is very important. This sense, and must design from a customer perspective. So tools to guide servicescape design, keen observations of customer behavior and responses to the service environment by management, supervisors, brand managers, and frontline staff. It means that we can gather information of the customer behavior from the frontline staff, how they complain and um, how about their feelings, and body language, and then also non-verbal informations, non-verbal communication of customer is very important. And feedback and ideas from frontline staff and the customers using a broad array of research tools from suggestion boxes to focus group and survey. Sometimes we need to invite customers. We do a survey, online survey, or by questionnaires, or by looking by observations, and invite them to conduct focus group discussions. And the objective is to find some feedbacks from the customers. And then also field experiments can be used to manipulate specific dimensions in an environment and the effect observed. It means that maybe you use a social experiment. For example, let's say that we talk about restaurant as we talk about restaurant, and, and then you are the owner of the restaurant, and suddenly that you bring glass, for example, bring glass, and then suddenly you fall on the glass and it makes sounds, right? And then from that experiments, you will look how what is the expression made by your customers. Are they very angry, or they are disturbed by the sound of the glasses, or yeah, any kind of responses, we need to take note for that. And blueprinting or service mapping is extended to include physical evidence in environment. It means that if we talk about blueprinting of service mapping, so please you can search what is blueprinting or service mapping. Especially it is required to include physical evidence or servicescape in the environment. Okay. So I guess it's very that's all. It's very short lessons for today. We talk about servicescape or physical surroundings. And please, you can uh, relate this one, the material, to your group project. Don't forget to analyze. I guess all the topics I have already seen, and I have already approved all the topics that you already submitted through ULS. Now it's your turn to discuss more with your group members to include all the materials that you have learned so far, including today, which is a servicescape or a physical surrounding. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.